Thank you for joining me today, and welcome to part 1 of our Namoki 3-part series on how to build a custom watch using Namoki mods. To be clear, Namoki is not a sponsor, and I've paid for the kit with my own funds. Without wasting any more time, let's get to work. Now the kit comes well packaged in these metal containers, which, by the way, also make for great storage containers for other projects. The kit comes with these instructions, but I have to say these instructions are very basic. If you're brand new to this or you are a visual learner and you like details, you may want to refer back to this video if you decide to purchase the kit. Before I get started, I want to make sure to inspect the parts and the movement to ensure it's running. And all seems well here so far. Step 1 is to attach the dial to the movement. The dial has these 4 feet on the back, but I only need 2 of these feet to install the dial. Because this is an NH35 movement, the dial feet I will need are at the 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock positions. That means I will need to remove the feet at the 3 and 9 o'clock positions. I need to be careful when doing this. It's easy to get confused when you flip the dial around, and you can easily end up removing the wrong feet. I can easily remove the unwanted dial feet using some tweezers or cutters. It really doesn't matter which. There will be a small piece left over that I'll want to file down. I want to be careful here when doing this as not to accidentally get any shavings or debris into the movement or dirty up my workspace. Ideally, I should have my movement covered up. I also want to make sure that I wipe the dial clean of any residual debris that could potentially damage the movement. Alright, now I can attach the dial to the movement. And I'm just going to line the 3 o'clock position up with the crown position, and then the dial feet will align in the area that connects the dial to the movement. This dial is simply friction fitted, and if I have to take off the dial for any reason, I can just take one of my little screwdrivers to the position at the dial feet and gently push up like so. Now that the dial is in place, I can place the hands. These are the hands that actually come with the kit, but I ordered an additional set of hands for some customization, so I'll be installing different hands. The nice thing about custom watchmaking or watch modding is that you can be creative and you can make the watch your own. Hand setting requires a lot of patience. It is going to be the most difficult portion of the watch build, so I really want to take my time here. Since there isn't a date window, I don't have to worry about synchronizing a date to the hands at the 12 o'clock position. But I do need to ensure the minute and hour hands line up appropriately for each hour. So I will just align the 2 hands at the 12 o'clock position. The first hand to place is the hour hand, and this should be done under magnification using an eye loop. Now I like using Rodico, this putty-like stuff, to hold the hand. In this way, I am less likely to bend or scratch the hands. Once I have the hour hand in place, then I can take my hand setting tool and press down. I want to inspect and make sure that the hour hand is straight and even and not touching the dial. Next, I'll set the minute hand by lining it with the hour hand and basically follow the same process. Last but not least is the placement of the second hand, which is by far the most difficult part of the hand setting process. And that's because if you look here, I have to place a tiny shaft over a tiny pin. So I'm filming this in a really sort of awkward position underneath my microscope, just so I can give you a really good visual of the second hand placement. Okay, I think we got it. And once I feel like I have it in place, I can press down with my hand setting tool. Just know that it may take several tries to set the second hand, so it does require some patience. Now, I did run into some challenges while setting the hands that required me to make some hand adjustments so that they move around the dial properly. In part 3, I'll be showing you how I troubleshoot hand setting issues. Once I've inspected everything and can see that the hands all move freely and evenly, I can now place the movement into the watch case. To place the movement inside the case, I need to first release the temporary stem, and to release the stem for the NH35, I need to push the crown inward to expose the setting lever. Now I can take my screwdriver and press down on the setting lever to release the stem, and then pull out the stem. Before placing the movement into the case, I want to make sure I do a good job cleaning parts as I go. I want to clean the inside of the case, especially the glass portion. I don't want fingerprints or dust to remain on the inside of the glass or on the dial or hands. Next, I'll place the case over the movement, and I'll just line it up with the 3 o'clock and crown position. It's important to make sure that the movement is properly seated completely inside the case. Now, once I get the movement seated inside securely, I sometimes need to readjust the alignment of the movement where the crown inserts into the 3 o'clock position, and I can just do this with my screwdriver. I'll also take another look at the dial and make sure that the dial looks even all the way around inside the case. Now I'm ready to place the stem and crown. The nice thing about the kit is that the stem is already cut to fit the movement. Cutting stems to fit movements is a whole other skill set, and you'll see how I do that in part 2. I will eventually be applying some glue to the stem, but I want to first make sure that the stem was cut correctly and that everything works as it should after placing the stem and the crown into position. After everything checks out with the crown and stem position, I need to add a little glue to the end of the stem to ensure that the crown doesn't fall off or unscrew. Just keep in mind that it doesn't require a lot of glue. Actually, that's a bit more than I wanted. I want to make sure I clean any excess glue off so it doesn't get inside the movement. This watch has a screw down crown, so once the stem is in place, I want to make sure that it screws down all the way and that it sits up nicely against the case. I also want to make sure that the crown pulls in and out properly, that I can wind the watch and I can set the time. Okay, I'm ready to put on the case back, but I want to add a little grease to the gasket first. I want to take my time placing the gasket and make sure that it's in place properly so that it seals properly when I screw down the case back. Now let's do one more quick cleaning to ensure there are no more dust particles or smudges remaining. This watch has a screw down case back, which is really nice. And I like using these case back balls to screw down the case back. I don't want to over tighten the case back or under tighten it, and these balls work really well for that. Alright, looking pretty good. Now it's time for the strap, and I have to say I really like the strap that came with the kit, but not on this watch. This strap is a 20mm strap and the lugs on the watch are 18mm, and because of that, it just doesn't look right to me. For some people, they may not care at all, but I just don't like how it looks. So instead, I found an 18mm strap that I think looks pretty nice. Alright, so what do you think? Leave a comment below and tell me your thoughts. At 41mm lug to lug and 35mm across, not including the crown, the watch may appear a little underwhelming for folks with larger wrists. However, this vintage size is typical for the 1970s time period, and after all, this is a vintage style watch. The retail price for the kit is $300 US. That includes the tools you'll need to put the watch together. I think this Hamilton homage version from Namoki can be a nice alternative if you're interested in learning how to build your own watch. And if you're new to watch modding and you're wanting to learn watchmaking, a watchmaking kit is a good place to start. Check out part 2 of this series where I'll show you how you can easily decorate a basic movement, cut stems, and more. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your support. Until next time.